It appears that even though Joe Biden is now president of the United States, he's officially taken over, and Donald Trump has left the building. He is now in Florida. Got a funny story on that one later. But even though Trump's no longer in office, his fans in QAnon haven't given up hope yet. Listen here. It appears the latest Q dumps.
Dumps. Big, massive dumps.
They say that Donald Trump, this is the way that Donald Trump could still be your president. All right, so let me get into the details here. Now, this is according to a report from Vice. The latest theory being passed around by QAnon extremists is based upon writings from members from the sovereign citizen movement. So you're familiar with the sovereign citizens. If you're not, it basically is a bunch of people who think that the laws really don't apply to me. The Constitution doesn't really apply to me. We believe in the very, very original document, and unless we're going off that original document, then none of the laws or anything, the government is illegitimate. And so, like we don't follow the law because we don't believe in it. Well, that's great. Perfectly, up Donald Trump's alley, apparently. So now they have a, quote, unique interpretation of American history. So this is from the Vice report. Sovereign citizens believe that a law enacted back in 1871 secretly turned the United States into a corporation and did away with the American government of the Founding Fathers. And so based on that, that's why somehow Joe Biden is an illegitimate president. And really, Donald Trump is still your president. Right. So we're a corporation. Did you know that the United States was a corporation? Actually, you know what? Kind of makes sense. In a weird way, but more like we're not actually a corporation, but we're ruled by corporations. That makes more sense. Because what they're saying is that, well, it's the United Corporation of America, and so since we're a corporation, we're not really the government of the founders. So therefore, I don't have to follow any of the rules. Oh, okay. Insane. We're not a corporation. Turns out, we are we are still a republic. We got problems. We're not a very good functioning republic at this point. But we still have elections. Elections are fair. We have a lot of issues though with money in politics and corporations themselves. But okay, all right. There's some insanity. So there's more though. Now the group believes that that Franklin Roosevelt, right? So FDR sold U.S. citizens out in 1933, even though apparently we were already sold out back in 1871, but okay. When he ended the gold standard and replaced it by offering citizens as collateral to a group of shadowy foreign investors. Wait, what? Okay, what? What is this? Shadowy foreign investors. I bet they're not even trying to attempt to back this up with any sort of factual data because there is none. They're not even going to try to source this. They're just shadowy foreign investors. Yeah, so it turns out the United States is actually a corporation, and our people have been sold out by the president, and but it was the previous president. It was one of the better presidents. And I say one of the better presidents, even though knowing that FDR has quite a stain on his legacy, but then again, most U.S. presidents do. I would say with the exception of Jimmy Carter, even so, definitely not a perfect president. But anyway, they go back to the whole the citizens are being offered as collateral to a shadowy investor group. Well, the Bilderbergs? This is crazy pants. But of course, right? So now, QAnon groups on Gab and Telegram, which is basically the only social media they have left, the ones, that are controlled by neo-Nazis, have been sharing documents describing the 1871 Act, claiming that it proves that not only is Joe Biden an illegitimate president, according to them, but also that The real president, Donald Trump, will be sworn in on March 4th. March 4th. Why not April 1st? You know, April Fool's Day. Because you're all fools. Now, the source for the date is the fact that 1933 was also the year that inaugurations were changed from March 4th to January 20th to shorten the lame duck period of outgoing presidents. Ah, yes. Now, QAnon followers believe that Trump will become president of the original republic, and not the corporation they believed the 1871 Act created. So now let me get into more details about this, okay? Sovereigns believe that soon after, in conjunction with the passage of the 14th Amendment, the U.S. ceased to be a constitutionally governed republic that reflected the will of the people. Well, I mean, I would say that right now it doesn't really reflect the will of the people, but not in the way that they mean it. Corporations actually, and business leaders and people with money, the moneyed interest, actually have more, support and more influence over policy than regular people, going back to the Princeton study. But anyway, they referred to as the de jure or legally rightful government. This original republic was governed under common law, or constitutional law. In the sovereign worldview, common law refers to a legal structure that is validated by the Constitution and or biblical or divine mandate. Oh, great. Now we're getting religion into this. To sovereigns, common law supersedes the illegitimate laws currently effective in the United States. Beyond this key quality of legal primacy, the exact meaning, origin, and provisions of common law vary considerably depending on the individual beliefs of the sovereigns. Shortly after the unanimous ratification of the 14th Amendment, so they're against the 14th Amendment, by the way, in 1870, sovereigns believed the government was quietly overthrown by corrupt bankers who transformed the government into a corporation and subjected the American people to an entirely new set of commercial laws. In the sovereign narrative, this new set of commercial laws usurped the Constitution and overturned protections for citizens. This corporation is often referred to as the de facto government and is seen as illegitimate. This vehicle for this change is the 1871 law, which many sovereigns believe created a United States corporation to govern the District of Columbia under commercial code rather than common law. Subsequently, the United States Code, essentially laws compiled at this point, extended this form of corporate rule to the entire country thanks to a provision in Title 28, 300215 A, B, and C that includes the phrase the United States means a federal corporation. Okay, wow. All right. There you go. That is some wow, that is some that's some like pretzel-y shit going on here. Wow. Wow. I'm not even sure what to say about this. Is this what it's going to be like for the next 4 years? By the way, is it what's going to happen? I mean, just imagine it's next year, it's 2022, right? And somewhere in the 8chan forums or on Gab, there's another Q dump.
Dumps.
And conservatives will be like, okay, listen up. This is how Donald Trump can win the election, okay? This is how Donald Trump can win the election. And by the way, he's actually been your president for 2 years. You didn't even know it. I mean, you didn't even know it. Look, he's already made America great again by embracing Joe Biden's agenda. Take that, libertards. What? Grade A copium. That's what that is. This is the good shit. They've broken out the premium stock of copium. Okay? The desperate times call for desperate measures, apparently, and that's what this is. This is desperate. This is some very desperate stuff. You can't just pick and choose the Constitution. Which parts of the Constitution? By the way, interesting choice, the 14th Amendment. Equal rights. Just saying, that's the one that they don't want to follow. But no, that's not how it works. But this is why, though, they're sovereign citizens. This is what makes them sovereign citizens. They don't actually believe in the laws of our country. And in doing so, they don't follow the laws, and they also, do violence. They employ violence to their ends. They murder police officers. And now you have QAnon, who's done their own share of violence, cozying up to them. So that's what's going on, okay? But I guess it shouldn't be a surprise, knowing these two different groups and knowing how they're eventually going to coalesce, but there it is. QAnon people aren't just living in a different reality, but they are dangerous. They are unhinged and are butting up to literal terrorists in order to try to cling to their cope and their delusions. Dangerous. Not good. Very, very bad. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.